So hello everyone and I welcome you all to APJ Academy where we are nurturing the young minds to become doctor and engineers just like you. There are so many persons who started their journey with very average mind but reached their extreme potential. It's only about the coaching what they are getting. It's only about the guidance which they are getting, which completely change the scenario, completely change the equation. So here at APJ Academy, we are providing you this thing. But before we start, I would like to know about the quality of broadcast. Is everything fine? Is my audio, video, everything going fine for you? Please let me know. Hello, my dear students. Yes. So now when everything is fine, we can move ahead, and here's very brief introduction about me. Myself, Manoj Kumar. My name is Manoj Kumar. I am physics educator at APJ Academy. I'll be teaching you physics here. And before joining APJ Academy, I was associated with multiple renowned institutes. Okay. And also I guided more than 1 lakh of students on online. And there is one very popular quote of Atomic Habit book. Hello. Yes. So there is one very important quote of Atomic Habit book which said that winners and losers have same goal. So there are so many persons who fill NEET exam and their goal is same, that they want the seat in AIIMS Delhi, right? Their goals are same, but what is the difference between the one who makes into the AIIMS or the one who didn't even make in any college? Their goals are same. So sometimes you have heard about this thing that you should have goal, that where you should be studying, or you should have goal in your life to achieve something. Goal is not required at all. The thing that is required is your process. Love the process. Process is very important because through the process only you can achieve any goal. So you should know that if you want to become the topper, what is the thing which you require to know? What are the things which you do not require to do not know? Right? There are so many things which are irrelevant when it comes out to be for your exam, because everything is not important. You have to focus on the things which are very important, right? So process is very important, and to make your process very rigorous, we have free live classes running on our YouTube channel, which is none other than APJ Academy, where there is complete schedule is there, and we have a particular timetable on which the classes are happening. So subscribe this YouTube channel so that you won't miss any notification, and hit the bell icon as well when you are subscribing, right? And in today's class, what we are going to learn is about rotational motion, right? So today we are going to learn about rotational motion. So how many of you know something about rotational motion? Many a time student thinks that rotational motion is the toughest chapter of physics, but as per me, it is the simplest chapter of physics, because the questions patterns are fixed. You know that which type of questions will come, you know that how to solve these types of questions. So everything is fixed, and when everything is fixed, that makes the things very easy. सर क्या एनसीईआरटी का अभी समय है रजिस्ट्रेशन करने को? नीट का कब से एग्जाम होगा सर? नीट एग्जाम विल हैपन इन जून. Okay, the notification will come. Okay, Rohit is saying that circular motion about an axis. First of all, before we get into the rotational motion, we should know something about motion. I'll explain you each and every concept of rotational motion, and I'll start this from the very basic things. So if you know about motion, then you might think that motion is anything when there is change in position, right? Motion is anything when there is change in position. So usually this change in position happens in two cases. First of all, we have linear motion. In linear motion, we saw that the object is moving in a straight direction, right? Or I'll be saying that it is on the same plane. So when the object is moving from point A to B, I am saying that this is changing its position, and this change in position can be calculated using two things. First one is the distance, where we actually note it down that what is the path of the object, right? Path is very important when I am calculating the distance. But when I am calculating the displacement, where I only require only two things. What is the initial point and what is the final point? So there is one thing, displacement, right? There is one thing, that is displacement. But what happened in the rotational motion? What we will be having here, right? What we will be having here. So in rotational motion, we will see that there will be a fixed point. There will be a fixed point about which the object is revolving. One axis, one point needs to be fixed. This is must, because if you think that there is no axis, we do not require the real axis for the rotation. Even if I'll show you. I'm having a ball with me, right? I'm having a ball, and I'm a very good bowler at my time when I used to play cricket. So I am having this ball. So if I am rolling my fingers on this ball, then you are seeing that this ball is revolving, right? When this ball is rotating, then imaginary axis will be there, and about that imaginary axis, all these points will be rotating, isn't it? So for rotation, I require one axis or one point. This is must. So about that point, you will be seeing that there will be change in angle, right? From A to B, there will be change in angle, right? So we know that how we will be able to calculate the angle. So here we will be seeing the angular displacement, right? So there we will be seeing the angular displacement, and angular displacement is given by the angle. So here we will be seeing theta, and theta will be equals to L by R. L is the length of the arc and R is the radius. L is the length of arc and R is the radius. Basically, I always say that science is the deadly enemy of uniqueness. Means you do not get to know about more unique concepts. The only thing which you need to be done is just revising the previous concept and relate those concepts with the new concepts which you are studying currently. This is the right way to study. This is the right way to teach, right? So we already know that in case of linear motion, we have the displacement. So in case of rotational motion, we have angular displacement, and angular displacement is given by theta, and that will be theta is equals to L by R. So each and everything, whatever we had learned in the linear motion, we have to relate in this. So I'll be teaching all these things to you, and after that we will be solving the previous year questions from NEET, right? So I hope that this thing is clear to you. And then when I am done with the displacement part, then I know that after displacement, we have to calculate the velocity, right? So velocity here is ds by dt. What will be the velocity here? Here I'll be saying that it will be the angular velocity. And angular velocity is denoted by omega. So it will be d theta, means the change in angle, divided by t, right? Right? So if I am saying you that omega is constant, means about one axis, about one point, when the object is moving, its velocity is constant. If I am telling you this thing, then what will happen? What will happen? When it completes one round, when it completes one round. So for one round, for one complete round, what will be the angle? What will be the angle for one complete round? Anyone from you, could you please answer that for one complete round, what will be the angle? The angle will be 2 pi. For one complete round, the angle will be 2 pi. And for completing one round, for a periodic type of motion, the time required will be equals to the time period, right? The meaning of time period is the time taken by an object to complete one round. So time period of the object will be considered as t. So we can also say that omega, if omega is uniform, then it will be 2 pi by t. Are you getting this? Are you getting this? Yes, yes. So these are small points which we will be joining, because in the competition exams, the thing that matters is that you will be joining some points. You have so many linkages with you. You have to join those points, right? So this is done, right? The third thing we know that the third thing is the acceleration. These are the only three things which we require to describe the motion. So for the acceleration, we have angular acceleration here, and this angular acceleration is defined by d omega by dt. This is very simple. This is defined by d omega by dt, just like acceleration here is defined by dv by dt. Right? So this is done. So till now, what we had learned about rotational motion. So till now, what we had learned about rotational motion is that sir, you just tell us that we have to connect the links. We have to connect the links. What we had studied in the previous types of motions, we have to link those conditions, everything, each and everything to this rotational motion. And if I have to say one thing, I'll be saying that the rotational motion is the complete motion. Each and everything, whatever you are currently studying at rotational motion, you can easily say that the other things are the special parts or the special cases of the rotational motion. Why? Because if you think about the straight line motion, then I can consider that if radius is infinite, just like if we imagine that I am running on the earth, I never saw that the earth is curved. I never imagined that the earth is round. That is only from the books or only from the observations what we are doing, that when I goes to the flight or when I goes to the swimming for sea beaches, right? So then only I can see. Otherwise, I'll be thinking that earth is flat, right? So when r is infinite, I can easily say that everything whichever was applicable in rotational motion will goes to the straight line, isn't it? So for first point, I told you about the displacement. So for displacement we have what? For displacement I am making linear and I am making here rotational. so that it can be revised very fast, right? So for displacement we have S, here we have theta, here we have velocity, here we have omega. Omega is equals to 2 pi by t, or omega is equals to d theta by dt. Okay. Third thing, then we have acceleration. Acceleration is a here, and acceleration is alpha. Alpha will be d omega by dt. Okay. Then, so sir, this is done, means the kinematics part is done. Sir, what will be next doing? So you know that there is equations of motions, right? So you know that there are equation of motion. So for equation of motion we have v minus u is equals to at, s is equals to ut plus half at square, v square minus u square is equals to 2as. So these three things we are having currently, and if we go here, then what will be the equation change? V will be considered as omega. Initial velocity, initial angular velocity will be denoted by omega naught. Okay, and then it will be alpha t, right? Displacement will be theta is equals to omega naught t plus 1 upon 2 alpha t square. Each and everything whatever you had studied here, you will be applying there. Only the difference between is that when you are talking about theta, you need to put those values in radian. And this is omega square, omega naught square is equals to 2 alpha theta. So rotational dynamics chart is completed. Rohit, Afroz, Ali, is this thing clear to you? Tell me. If there is any doubt on this, you can ask me. Any doubt on this? No, nothing? So note it down. These are important formulas which we are currently revising, and then we are moving towards the NEET previous year questions, but this needs to be brushed up, right? Then if we are moving towards the other parts, we have force here, right? We have force here. So what is the analogous of force? What is the analogous of force in rotational motion? Can anyone tell me? What is the analogous of force on rotational motion? Yes, it is torque. And torque is nothing. Torque is nothing. It is just R cross F. This is R cross F. And if we talk about force, this is thing. Okay. Then force is equals to mass into acceleration, we already know. And here we will be substituting the mass. For rotational thing, we have moment of inertia. This is very important because most of the time you will see that in NEET exam you will be getting the direct questions from moment of inertia. You just have to calculate the moment of inertia there. So moment of inertia will be I, means torque is equals to I alpha square. Okay, so this will be there. Then we know work. Work here is force into displacement, and here work is torque into theta, right? So similarly we can go and I can write each and everything whenever we will require, right? So these are the things, please note it down. And the other things which we require to learn is the first is the center of mass, second is the First is the center of mass. We should know that how to calculate the center of mass. I'll be sharing some question and tricks with you for solving the center of mass. The second thing is about the moment of inertia. So you should know that what is the perpendicular axis theorem, what is the parallel axis theorem. So when you are well versed with all these fundamental things, then we can move towards the JEE previous year questions. So hello Vikas Kumar. So it's my pleasure when you are saying this thing. Shall we go? Torque? Torque is clear? Torque is clear, my dear. Anyone there who do not know about torque? Please remember one thing in your life, that do not feel shy in front of doctor and your teacher. Do not feel shy in front of doctor and teacher. Doctor, you all are future doctors, yes? And if you feel that any patient come to you and he feel that no, how I can tell how I can tell doctor that I am facing this issue, right? So if he didn't tell you, if he didn't tell about the symptoms what he or she is facing, then it will be very difficult for you to identify the problem, right? And it will take time, because as per your experience you will be gaining something that yes, if this is the problem, then it might be that this medicine will work or not. Similarly happens with the teacher as well. When you are not sharing your inputs, when you are not discussing with your teacher, then the thing is that teacher will himself need to take the test, and after the test results, then only he can decide that whether you are understanding or not, isn't it? So remember this one rule, that before marriage, right? After marriage, one person will also add there, right? Exactly. So we are moving forward. So first concept which we need to learn is about the center of mass. There are so many questions which I had seen from the center of mass. Basically, center of mass is nothing, just extension of the average, weighted average I would be saying. Imagine that if we are having 2 point masses, imagine that we are having 2 point masses with us. One is of mass m1, other one is of mass m2, and they are separated by a distance of d. Okay, we are having two masses m1 and m2, they are separated by a distance d, and we need to calculate the center of mass. So for any calculation in physics we require some reference, right? For any calculation in physics we require some reference. Reference can be taken from here, like you can say that this distance is x1 and you can say that this distance is x1 plus d, or you can say that this distance is x1, this is m1, this distance is x2, right? So you can easily find out the center of mass using the formula, the xum is equals to x1 m1 plus x2 m2 upon m1 plus m2. So this is the formula which you can use to calculate the center of mass. But in competition exam, we won't be doing from this method. We can easily find out the center of mass using one shortcut tricks. I'll be telling you what is the shortcut trick for that. Are you all with me? Vikas, Malini, Vicky, Rohit, Afroz. So the first thing about the center of mass, is take the reference line from one mass itself, because when you are taking the reference line from as it is passing from one mass, then you don't need to bother about that mass. Why? Because the distance from that mass of the axis will become 0. Then you won't need to take this thing, right? So I can easily calculate that where will be the center of mass. So I can say that the center of mass will be m2d upon m1 plus m2. Isn't it? This is so simple, so damn simple. I can say that imagine that if you are having NaCl with you. If you are having NaCl with you, so sodium will be at that side, chlorine will be at that side. Where will be the center of mass? Where will be the center of mass? You know that the sodium mass is 23. The chlorine mass is 35.5. So you can easily find out that where is the center of mass. Right? So these kinds of problems when we are having only two masses are very simple. So first kind of problem is 2-point masses. So we will be solving using this method. Okay. So this is the best method which we will be solving. You can use this method as well. And now we are moving forward towards the 3 points. And that to be non-linear. How it will be non-linear? Imagine that we are having a table. And on that table we have placed 3 masses. Here M1, here M2, here M3. Okay. Here M1, M2, M3. And if you are taking reference from here, this is the x-axis, this is the y-axis. And if you are taking the reference from this point, this is the origin point, then the distance means you need the coordinates of each and every point. So if I am telling you that the coordinates of this M1 point is x1, y1, the coordinates of M3 is that this is B, this is C. So the coordinates of M3 is x3, y3. The coordinates of M2 is x2, y2. Right? So I can easily find out the center of mass. What is the center of mass? If somebody asks you that what is the center of mass? Center of mass is basically a point where you will imagine that the complete mass will be there. Means complete mass M1, M2 and M3 will be there at one point. That will be representing that complete set of system of particles. Why? Because Newton wrote all the mechanics using the concept of point. And when we move towards the extended object, when we saw that there are so many real life problems or the real life questions where we are having extended objects, the size of the object is high, then what happened? We thought about that why not we can easily replace all these number of particles at one point and imagine that whole mass will be at one point, right? So center of mass is like that. So I can easily find out when I am talking about that this is non-linear. Non-linear means there are two axes, means x-axis and y-axis. This is on a plane. So for the center of mass, I need to find out two points, x and y. So x will be given by m1 x1, m2 x2, m3 x3 upon में m1 plus m2 plus m3, and YCM will be given by m1 y1, m2 y2 and plus m3 y3 divided by m1 plus m2 plus m3. Right? So these are the things which you need to know about the 3 points. And if we will be having some questions which will be having uniform cross-sectional area, then we will be using integration method for finding out x dm upon में dm. Okay. Fine. I hope that these things are clear to you. Shall we move towards the previous year questions or some basics things or some other basic things also you require? So center of mass is clear to you that we have already learned about the mechanics using the point. When we were studying the kinematics, when we were studying other kinds of motion, when we were studying the forces and laws of motion, we were considering each and every object as a point object. Then when we goes into the real life, we identify that we have the extended objects. So we got into the mind of scientists that we have to place all these particles into one point, right? That is known as center of mass. So this is previous year question, very important question. Let's see how many of you will be able to do. Just now I explained you about the center of mass, so I'll be taking the center of mass question first of all, then we will be moving towards this, right? First I'll be taking the center of mass question. So there are so many questions we are having, right? So this is a question from previous year. So attempt. This is a question from previous year. Here you have to use two concepts. I told you that in NEET the two concepts are very important. One is the center of mass, other one is the moment of inertia. So this is a combination of both. And moment of inertia is nothing. If there is anyone who do not know about moment of inertia, then please let me know. As I told you that before marriage you do not need to be shy with your teacher and doctor. So moment of inertia is nothing but a mass, okay, and r square, and this is denoted by I. Please let me know how many of you are able to solve this question. Solve this question. I am moving. Solve this question. Everything is given. Done? Vikas? Please be active and please let me know that whether you are trying or not. If you are not trying at all, I'll be solving it. If you are trying, then it's okay. No, okay. Okay. I think that you have some problem with the moment of inertia, right? So we will be solving some moment of inertia questions so that you will be getting a brief idea of that what is moment of inertia, right? So as I told you that whenever there is some rotation, what we are having, there is one axis, right? There is one axis. So from axis, if I am having a mass m1 at a distance of r1, if I am having a mass m2 at a distance of r2, if I am having a mass m3 at a distance of r3, then moment of inertia of combined masses about this axis, because moment of inertia can be calculated about an axis, and if I need to change the axis, I will be using the perpendicular axis theorem or the parallel axis theorem, right? So the moment of inertia for this will be m1 r1 square plus m2 r2 square plus m3 r3 square. So this is the moment of inertia, right? And for your basics, I need to give you one question. Imagine that if you are having a table, imagine that you are having a table and on that table, imagine that you are having a table and on that table we placed 3 masses each of mass m. We places 3 masses each of mass m, and think about this. I put one axis here perpendicular to one mass, right? I put one axis here perpendicular to one mass. You need to find out the moment of inertia. You need to find out the moment of inertia of this thing. Can you find out? Can you find out the moment of inertia? Please, please, please let me know. Can you find out the moment of inertia? And in the next question, there are 2 questions. This is question number 1. This is also from previous year questions, and this question is also from your H.C. Verma book, if you are following that book, right? So this is type 1. This is type 2. So in type 2, imagine that we put some axis here passing through 2, we put some axis here passing through 2 masses. Okay, we put some rod there and the table is empty, means there is no plank out there, so it will move in this direction. So here also you need to find the moment of inertia. Find moment of inertia here and find moment of inertia here. And remember that moment of inertia is scalar quantity. You can easily add that part. You do not need to worry about that what is the direction here, because this is a scalar quantity, just like mass, it's a scalar quantity. Vicky, no, B is not right, Vicky. For that question, I'll be solving this after this. First of all, you solve this question. This is also from previous year question, right? This is also from previous year question, and this question is from H.C. Verma as well. This is NEET PYQ plus H.C. Verma. H.C. Verma questions. Solve this. I already gave you the formula, that which formula you have to use. So formula, you are having the formula, right? So there are some students who say that I can solve the question if I know the formula. So formula is there for you, right? So there is no, means you cannot blame anyone. Many a time what we do is, we blame each and every person on this universe that for our unsuccessful, why we were unsuccessful, why we are unsuccessful, and why we will be unsuccessful, just because we are having these kinds of persons in this world. That is why we are unsuccessful. Otherwise, we will become successful. No, this kind of attitude is altogether bakwas. Why? Because you need to take the responsibility on your own. You become successful only because of from your talent. Even I am having 8+ years of experience, and from my batches there were more than 500 students who got selected in NEET, right? There are so many doctors, they are doing specialization now, right? So they are writing NEET PG and NEET super specialty exams. But if I'll take their credit and I'll say that because of me only they will be able to crack the exam, then it will be injustice for them, right? Because of their hard work they were able to do that, and I was there for their guidance, I was there for their initial hand holding, I was there for guiding them. If they were facing any issues related to the physics, I'll be doing the same things with you as well. So you need to have some interconnection between, right? So solve this question and please let me know that what is the answer. Malini, Vicky, Vikas, you need to accept that the biggest enemy of best is good. The biggest enemy of good is best. You want to become good. You won't become good if you want to become the best. Best will never happen. Means your best version will come when you die. Solve, please solve this question. No, no one is solving. Vikas, Vicky. Hey, what is the issue here? Means there is some issue with you that is why you are not able to solve this. See, if I need to find out the moment of inertia, I'll be going towards the axis, and at reaching the axis, I'll be seeing that how many masses are there. So I'll be seeing that there are two masses, right? Go there. Go at this point and see that how many masses are there. There are two masses, right? If this is equilateral triangle and each and every side is AAA, each and every side is AAA, that is, I hope that if this is stopping you to solve, then I already told you when I was drawing the question that these are equilateral triangles. So the moment of inertia will be because of this I1 and because of this I2. And both these moment of inertia are same, then I can say that it will be ma square. So it will be I is equals to ma square, right? 2ma square, 2ma. So this is the answer, and for this we need to do something. For this we need to do something. What we need to do? What we need to do? We know that when this is an equilateral triangle, when this is an equilateral triangle of side A, the height will be root 3 by 2a. The height will be root 3 by 2a. Now many students thinks that how the height will come out to be root 3 by 2. So we know that the area of equilateral triangle is root 3 by 4a square, right? We can also write it using half into base into height. This is the base and this is the height. So I can write half into base into height, right? So I can cancel out this a with this a, this with this. So it will be h is equals to root 3 by 2a. Root 3 by 2a. So this is my answer. So moment of inertia at that point will be I. There is only one mass because the masses which is passing through the axis will not provide any moment of inertia. The masses which are passing through the axis of rotation will not provide any moment of inertia. So the moment of inertia here will be m and the r square. So here the distance of r is root 3 by 2a square. So it will be m, it will be 3 by 4 ma square. 3 by 4 ma square. I hope that you all are clear with this. Okay, no issue. So Malini did it. No, cube won't be there. Please remember one thing. Whenever we are solving MCQ questions, the first and foremost thing which we have to keep in our mind that the dimension should match. Dimensions are very important tool to mark correct answer. I can mark the correct answer even without solving the question when I am having the options in terms of variables. When I am having the options in terms of variables, I can easily solve the question just by knowing the dimension, because I know that whatever they were asking, the dimension should be the same, right? So this is the question of moment of inertia. Center of mass I already told you, right? So one question is done. So I think that you now better know that how we can calculate the moment of inertia. Now we are having here the same question which we were doing earlier. There is a light rod of length L. There is a light rod of length L. Has two masses M1 and M2. Has two masses M1 and M2. Right? Has two masses M1 and M2 attached at its two ends. So we had attached these two masses. The moment of inertia of the system about an axis perpendicular to the rod and passing through the center of mass is, first of all, we need to find out that where will be the center of mass, right? So first of all, we need to find out that where will be the center of mass, because the question here is that we need to find the moment of inertia about an axis perpendicular to the rod. So when this is rod, like imagine I am having this rod, right? The axis perpendicular will be like this, right? Similarly to the Cartesian plane which we are having, x-axis and y-axis. So we will be having an perpendicular axis. Are you all getting? So we will be having the perpendicular axis. But where that axis will be, it will be passing through. It will be passing through the center of mass. It should pass through the center of mass, right? Now imagine I can easily cut down two options, at least two options. I didn't start solving the question. I can easily cut down at least two options just using the concept of dimension, because I know I need to find out what? I need to find out the moment of inertia. Then the moment of inertia dimension will be, there should be one mass and there shall be the radius square, right? Distance square must be there. So if you see this option number B, somebody was saying that this will be the answer. If you see that how this could become the answer, if I will be saying that this will be M, this will become M square and this will be L. So this can't be the answer here. This can't be the answer. Are you all getting why this can't be the answer? Because the dimension of this is not matching the dimension of moment of inertia, because the dimension of moment of inertia is mass, means one mass must be there, right? One mass must be there and the radius square must be there, the length square must be there. Then this, yes, this can be, this, tell me this, can this? Yes, this can be, because here we can say that this can be, right? But this can't be the answer, right? Somebody is saying that, why sir, why? Are you all getting? Malini. So first and foremost thing which you need to know is the dimension. This is the first thing. Whenever you are solving the questions of MCQ type and whenever you are having the answers in terms of variables, the most easy thing is to find the dimensions. So now I'll be going to solve this, or I can easily mark that what will be the answer. If I know that I need to find out the center of mass, then how I can calculate the center of mass? If I am having these rods here, the center of mass will be, if I am taking the reference, this as a reference, then the center of mass will be m2, like center of mass will be xum will be m2 L upon my m1 plus m2, isn't it? This will be my center of mass. If I am taking this as reference, this will be my center of mass. Arey, bolo, hello, this will be my center of mass, right? So center of mass means that from here we have to keep this distance, and at this distance we need to place our axis. How many of you able to get this thing? That the center of mass, we identified that what is the center of mass here. So we can easily find out the other as well. If I need to find out the center of mass from here, then it will be m1 L upon my m1 plus m2. How many of you able to get this? So these two distances we identify, and whenever we have to calculate the moment of inertia, this is very simple, because just only two things is required. There is one axis, I already got the axis. The mass I am already having the m1, here the mass I am already having the m2, and the distance from this axis, the distance from this axis, I easily find out that this is d1, this is d2, right? And d1, I already find out that d1 is m2, d1 is m2L upon my m1 plus m2, d1 is m2L, m1 plus m2, right? And this d2 is m1L upon m1 plus m2. So we already get to know about these things, and now you know that the moment of inertia, if I have to find out the moment of inertia about this axis for this mass, will be I1, and this will be m1 and r1 square, means d1 square. So it will be m1 and d1 square will be m2 square L square m1 plus m2 square, right? And for this I2 we have m2 m1 square L square upon m1 plus m2 square, right? So we got this thing, and now we have to add to get the answer. So I net will be I1 plus I2, and that will be m1 plus m2 whole square. So with God grace we are getting the same denominator, so we do not need to do some extra work, right? So I can easily take something common, m1 m2 L, right? So if m1 m2 L is common, then there will be m2, and here will be m1, right? So bas khatam, tata, bye bye. This will be cut by this, and here we go, we got our answer correct. Here we go. So option A is correct. I hope that you all get to know that how we can able to solve this. Yes? Are you getting that what is the steps? Because process is more important than solving the question. Process is more important. Like if I need to find out the moment of inertia, then what is important? The axis is very important, because from the axis I just need to apply the mr square, right? Vikas Malini, so if this is correct, give me some dap. So I think that you require very rigorous practice for these kinds of questions, right? As per me, I thought, right, there are so many questions, right? Just see this question. Just see this question. This is a question where we need to find out the torque. So torque, we are running out of time. We are running out of the time. Okay. This is angular velocity question. Okay, I'll explain you first this thing. That if you never want to miss my class, if you never want to miss my class, if you like this session and if you never want to miss my class, just one thing I want from you, your side. Join this Telegram group ALT NEET. You will get many things here, that you will be getting the PDF materials, free classes, announcements about my classes, the prizes and the various things which are going on this Telegram channel and the Telegram group. Because here we are providing one-to-one mentoring. Nobody is providing on online platform. And you know that you need some hand holding when you are reading and you are preparing for the exam like NEET. Because at every point of time, you will need someone who will be energizing you. That yes, you are the doctor, you have to be the one who will be wearing the apron and running for the emergency work. Right? Malini, how to get the distance? We got the distance using the, what? We got the distance using the center of mass. Because when I am having two masses, I already told you, when I am having two masses, the center of mass, if I am taking this as reference, the center of mass from this point will be D1, and that D1 will be equals to M2L upon M1 plus M2, right? And if I am taking the center of mass from this side, then taking this as reference, then D2 will be equals to M1L upon my M1 plus M2. So this is how we got the distance, and we already know about the masses. So you just need to multiply, you just need to apply MR square, right? And even if you are not able to understand, just text me on Telegram, I'll explain you, okay? By video call, I'll explain you. There is one crash course going on APJ Academy. 90 plus classes we are providing, and the duration of the crash course is until your date of the exam. So whenever you are getting your dates for the NEET, you will be getting your subscription extended till date, right? And the syllabus will be completed by JEE and NEET experts like me. And we are using currently the flipped classroom method. You know about the flipped classroom method. This is the one of the most wonderful method which we have introduced in India. Earlier, this method was used by Europeans. European universities uses this method currently as well. This is the best method for learning. What we are providing in this, we are providing you 5 steps. And in these 5 steps you will be learning. And after that, we will be providing you the doubt solving session. This is through one-to-one mentorship, means one-to-one Zoom call will be there for you. And this is the flipped classroom method. This is how our closed classes look. First of all, we will be providing you theory, the brief introduction that what we will be going to learn about in the webinar. Very brief, means in 10 to 15 minutes, I'll be explaining you each and everything, and I'll be inciting you that how you can learn these things. And you will be provided with the study material as well. And when you got the study material, you will be reading and flipping through those pages and get to know about the basics things which we will be going to learn. And next, we will be meeting in the webinar just like we are meeting here. So there will be live webinar on the smart board. We will be using some various GIFs, various animations we will be using. Today I didn't show you some animations. Why? Because we are going to solve the previous year questions. So this is not the class where I'll be teaching you the rotational motion from the basics, but if I'll be teaching the rotational motion from basics, then I'll be using very good animations so that you'll be able to understand, grasp that how actually the machines work. And then I'll be providing you the homework so that you can solve those homework and you can easily clarify your doubts, and then I'll check your homework as well. So these are the packages which we are currently providing. This is Smart and Prof, but currently there is special course, there is special price running. So you do not need to bother about that whether you will be purchasing that or that. We will be providing you one-to-one mentorship for each and every person. You just need to pay 2,990, and at this price I will be challenging each of you that you won't get the services what you are getting. There is free test series. There are free test series as well. The test series is free. There is study material. Each and everything you will be getting. The structured course is there. Structured course means here that you do not need to worry about that how you will be going to learn. The structured classes with the animations you will be getting. So you just need to scan this code, and whenever you are getting some that you need to apply some code, there is my code Manoj JE you can apply, or the Manoj NEET, right? Any doubt, Malini, Vikas, and please subscribe this YouTube channel so that you won't miss my future update. Any doubt, please do let me know that if there is any doubt. I have one thing to share with you. Please remember one thing in your life, that winners and losers have same goal. You can't be judged by just knowing that you are preparing for the NEET exam. You have to follow the process which was followed by the toppers, and I know that what toppers follows. You need to follow that process only. You need to know that which type of questions you need to do and which type of questions you have to ignore. Just ignore that these types of questions won't come in NEET, and that won't be coming in NEET, right? Any doubt? Already subscribed, Vikas Kumar? Okay, so how you find this class useful? Please attend the future classes as well, okay? So I am ending this session here only. So bye. We'll meet again in the future class. Bye-bye. APJ Academy, where we are nurturing the young minds just like you to become doctors and engineers. Bye-bye.